Hey, it's David Shelton, broker at Century 21 Advantage, bringing you another Real Value. All right, so this episode of Real Value, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and it recently got nearer and dearer because I just got back from an incredible experience with people at a place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at a 5-star Four Seasons hotel experience. I got to meet the owner's rep, an architect who's also become a friend of mine, and learned about what a contractor that we're planning on using, what they did to build this magnificent property on Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis. If you're looking for an extraordinary stay and you want to meet extraordinary people and maybe renew or kickstart your mindset about how you do things, I would encourage you to go to the Four Seasons, spend a night. You're going to spend 3 to 4 times what you'd spend on a Hampton Inn suite, about the same size, but the amenities, the attention to detail, the level of service that you get from people, and it is a well-staffed environment. I'm all about efficiencies, but I really got to learn a lesson that it's not always the best idea to cut back on your people power. As a matter of fact, investing in people is one of the best things that we can do. I'm convinced of that. Absolutely convinced of that, and looking at how we would incorporate that type of staffing model, that Four Seasons experience in everything that we do. So there's a guy that I follow that we've also had very, very influential in customer service. His name is Shep Hyken, and his tagline is always be amazing. And I love that. And when Shep breaks it down, he's got training and podcasts and he speaks at webinars and he's been featured on television and many other places. He's really about that genuinely. Always be amazing. Whether it's somebody you're talking to on the phone, to creating a culture in your company, or really I took it there for sure, but also like personally. Do I want to always be amazing? Not so that people can notice me, but so that I can do something in their lives. Greg and I were talking right before the video today about bodies of water. You know, when you go out to an area where there's a pond, that there's no longer fresh water going into it and it's dropped down at its level, there's no longer water going out of it. It becomes stagnant, stinky. You definitely don't want to be swimming in it. And you don't want to be drinking from it either because it goes foul, right? So we need a good inflow of fresh water, right, for that pond, and a good outflow. So you've got a refreshing rate there, and I don't know what the optimal rate is, but we certainly know that we've been by some stinky water before. All of us have been, and it's a direct result of maybe toxins and toxic things being in that water. And sometimes our lives can get toxic with how we think, how we project our words, and sometimes it's just like people are listening to us and looking at us like, wow, you know, it's just like you're off, man. And I've had those days, moments. I'm sure you have as well, where you're not hearing it, you're not seeing it, but the reaction to you from others is clear evidence that what you thought you were projecting, what you thought you were saying is not being perceived like that. None of us like to be misunderstood. So here's the lesson. The lesson is to get recentered, right? Get outside of your circumstances and get to a place where you can be refreshed by others, learn what's important, and then give away those things that you know. Make someone's day special, and don't be selective, be generous. Right? And so that you're not feeling proud about that in an arrogant kind of way. You're just about that, right? So Jeffrey was the doorman at the Four Seasons. Jeffrey and I talked for about a half an hour. He was mindful of his job and opening the door, making sure that people were ready, and making eye contact with everyone. But Jeffrey took the time to share with me his experience. He's been there a year because they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. There are 300 people that work at that Four Seasons hotel. So the staffing model is massively different than that of a lesser service hotel, right? So I got to experience that on every level. Richard came up to my room, took my bags down. I thought, you know what? I normally carry my bags, but I had a few extra bags because Father's Day gift was delivered. And so I just, I called room service, let them come get my bags, keep them for me while I did business in Minneapolis yesterday. The experience was amazing. And I got to walk away with people are important. And you feel important when you stay at a place where you've got agents talking to their clients about the basketball draft coming up. You've got a lot of stuff going on there. Minnesota Twins game. The people that own that hotel and developed it, it's a family that also own the Minnesota Twins. And so they're very invested in philanthropy in Minneapolis, as well as they are serious real estate developers as well. So for me, it was a great adjustment time of having good perspective on people first, then places. And that's a big thing. So today, I hope this has had some value to you. I hope that you can kind of take a moment, get to know people's names, remember them. I can tell you honestly that I have not been, I've admittedly said I'm not really good with names. I'm good with numbers. And what that tells me is that I care about numbers more than I care about people. And I am the only one that can change that. So I made a decision yesterday after speaking with Jeffrey that I too want to treat others like ladies and gentlemen, no matter who it is, right? Jeffrey elevated my thinking about so many things by displaying what was valuable and what was important, and it's people. At the end of the day, Jeffrey's a doorman at the building, taking time out of his day to speak with someone like me who was a guest at the hotel, and every guest was treated the same, but not just the guests, the Uber drivers that were dropping people off and everything else. So get a Four Seasons experience and give a Four Seasons experience to everyone and live at another level that's a high level, and don't be disappointed if you don't get treated back with the same treatment that you're giving. Give and give and give. You will not run out of good things to give. So my encouragement for the day, have a Four Seasons experience. If you have had an experience like that, or if you have one in the future, please let us know. And where you had it. Like I had mine at the Four Seasons in Minneapolis. Maybe yours was somewhere else. Maybe it was home. You know, maybe it was at church. Maybe it was at the local diner. You know, many places that you can have that. And we got to have many discussions afterwards with an architect and with Gensler. His name is Bill Baxley. And we had a great time and really connected on that deeper level when we were talking. We took that conversation that Jeffrey and I had, took it to now my meeting with an architect, my meeting with the family's representative that built that whole block, you know, multi-million dollars, huge risk, bringing in something that had not been in Minneapolis before. It was an amazing thing. You can change someone's life by just being real and valuing people over property, people over process, really, people over anything else. You can change someone's day. Thanks.
Say hello to the greatest tool to share your story with the world, using Active Image by turning any 2D image into a 5D experience, enhancing your connection with the viewer in real time using augmented reality. Try it today, activeimage.com.